Dr. Yvette Lu with us in studio. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Alzheimer's Awareness Month. Something that touches very close to home for me, as my dad has been diagnosed with Alzheimer's. And it's difficult for so many to even get to the point where you get the diagnosis. What are some of the red flags that we all need to look at? What's the difference between having dementia that is associated with age or having Alzheimer? Very, very different.
Okay, so normally we do get a little bit of memory loss with age, but it's not called dementia. It's just called memory loss. Dementia is when it's a problem. So memory loss with age is mild, it's not progressive, and it does not interfere with daily living. So if it's not any of those things, so if it's severe, if it's progressive, and it interferes with daily living, then you're worried. Then you should get medical assessment. So what we want to look at is the 10 warning signs of Alzheimer's disease.
Okay, so let's start with the first one that comes to mind. What's the first question you'd ask somebody if they came in and said, I think someone in my family, or even I am feeling at risk?
I would usually ask an open-ended question, like what kinds of symptoms are you experiencing, what kinds of things. But what most people complain about is memory loss. That's the first thing that most people notice.
Is it a cliche when people say that short-term memory loss is usually most profound, or is it any kind of memory loss?
I think it's different in different people, right? So you want to sort of look at what they're doing. So if they're asking for the same information over and over again, forgetting important dates, not being able to remember newly learned information, all those kinds of things. If you just forget a date or a name every now and then probably not a problem.
So that kind of happens to all of us, but if you're completely confused as to whether it's Tuesday or Thursday or October or July, there's an issue.
Yeah.
All right. What else are we looking for? Is it like misplacing things? I remember a friend of mine who had a parent who had Alzheimer's. She kept putting multiple loads of dish soap or laundry soap in the washing machine.
Right. Yeah. or putting keys in the refrigerator.
Right.
Right. Not knowing where you put things, losing things all the time.
When does an oops become a uh-oh?
If it's same thing. If it's severe, progressive, affects daily living.
All right. And then what can you do when you see somebody withdraw? Because I noticed that very much with my dad, that he withdrew because he didn't want people to be able to see, because he's proud. He's a proud, strong, fit man, and you want to give him that support, but he was like, no, I just don't want to go, because he's afraid to forget.
Right. So social withdrawal is one of the 10 warning signs of Alzheimer's disease, and social withdrawal can be caused by a lot of different things, like depression, which actually Alzheimer's disease can also cause.
Definitely.
So if you notice that, you do need to go see the doctor, because there's something wrong, there's something going on.
So you get a geriatric assessment?
Or maybe just start with your family doctor, see what your family doctor thinks, because your family doctor often knows the situation, knows the family.
And you start getting that baseline. Now, speaking of the family, it's a struggle for everybody to sort of get to the point where they all recognize and understand what is happening. We're all in a little bit of denial. So these flags, sometimes we want to push them off to the side. What advice as a physician do you give to?
Well, what I notice is that oftentimes it's the family members that actually complain about what's happening, often the wife or the husband, the spouse, and the person who has Alzheimer's often, or the person who has dementia, often doesn't even want to admit what's happening, because it is a sense of pride, and everyone is very scared of dementia. It's a very scary thing to happen.
So what can we do to help stave off dementia? What can we do to we're keeping our brains busy? I know my dad loves the Sudoku. Keep him, he's going through Sudoku books and doing them right. He's still like in golf his age. It's unbelievable.
So keeping mental connections, that's an excellent way. You want to keep the neural connections in the brain active. So staying socially active, having friends, going out, volunteering, and then doing things like Sudoku memory exercises, learning a new language, learning a new instrument. All those things keep your brain active.
Right. Healthy diet as well is important.
Healthy diet,
as always.
Yes. What's good for your heart is also good for your brain. So you want to keep your brain healthy as you age. So all those things: quitting smoking, alcohol, reducing alcohol intake, healthy diet with low fat, low cholesterol, high fiber, antioxidants in your food. So supplements, like antioxidant supplements, those don't have enough evidence. We don't recommend those. But if it's in your food, then we do have some evidence to recommend that.
Interesting. So not antioxidant supplements, get it in your food. Got it. So you're heavy on the blueberries.
Yeah. Dark colored foods, dark skinned fruits and vegetables.
I listen to Yvette when she talks to me. Dr. Yvette Lu, thank you so much for being here. We totally appreciate it. Now we head out to Dawn, who's standing by in the live-by this morning. Oh, earlydiagnosis.ca, Alzheimer's awareness. Talk about it. That's the thing that's helping our family the most, is that we're actually talking about it. It's alzheimers.org, alz.org.